Welcome to the aftermath. West Ham United 2, Newcastle 2. I know this is a day late, but it is what it is. Yeah, we drew 2-2 against Newcastle United. I thought this was our best chance of beating Newcastle United, but before I get into all of that, I'm around 6 subscribers away from 200 subscribers. So please subscribe, please, and please like the video if you enjoy. I thought this was our best chance of beating Newcastle, given their injuries. Sven Botman injured, Harvey Barnes is injured, Anthony Gordon suspended, meaning they had to play Elliot Anderson or Jacob Murphy on the left, or Isak if Wilson was fully fit. Wilson wasn't fully fit, and this is the first time Wilson has played for a long time, and he hasn't scored against us, which proves how much he scores against us when he plays a certain amount. He didn't really have enough time to affect the game, to be fair, because by the time he came on, they were sitting back to defend their lead, which was fair enough, and trying to see out the game. The game of two halves cliche will probably have to come into this kind of game, because how do you play like that in the first half and then bottle that in the second half? Put the refereeing thing aside. I'm not going to talk about referees in this video because I'm sick of talking about referees in general. You don't lose a game, draw a game, or win a game because of a referee unless it's a last-minute thing, and even then, context. Let's go to the Chelsea game where we got robbed at Stamford Bridge. We shouldn't have conceded those 2 goals. It was stupid goals to concede. And as much as I was angry then, you could look back at that now and be like, yeah, we should have had a goal. But we should have conceded those 2 goals and we just defended a 1-0 lead. But going to this game, another great performance from Emerson. I know a lot of people said Paquetá wasn't really in this game. I think he was really comfortable again, trying to make things happen. I felt sorry for him when we kept trying to long ball it when he ended up front. Put it this way, the game was completely changed when Mohamed Kudus came on, but we'll get to that. The first goal, obviously, great play from everyone involved. Antonio, Paquetá, Emerson, all involved in that. Linking up for the goal. Antonio hold up. As soon as Antonio got the ball, Emerson started running. Lays it off to Paquetá. Paquetá over the top. Nick Pope makes a mistake, but Emerson's touch to take it round was great. And to keep it in play, and he puts Souček wanting to tap in 4 goals in all competitions. If he keeps his form up again, maybe it was a Declan Rice thing, but he also said himself about the whole motivation thing, which I've mentioned a lot throughout the past couple of weeks. But we've got a selection headache now, and it's probably a good selection headache with them, given the amount of players that perform well. So it's just a couple of wires that's been caught in my chair. Okay. But a lot of players are playing well, especially in the diamond formation, meaning there's probably not going to be much space for Kudus right now. And that was my worry. That was my only really worry about signing him. But you can't go wrong with good depth in case someone gets injured. The striker problem is a problem because Moyes has clearly seen the light with Danny Ings that he's either fell off or just not good enough for the system. No, it just doesn't suit the system, which is also true. He plays in the 2 up front. We're never going to see the best Danny Ings because we play 1 up front. I know we play a diamond, but Bone will always drift out to the right. So it will eventually become a 4-2-3-1. Still, I think we unfortunately have this mentality, not just under Moyes, but under these group of players, that they're so used to taking a goal and then sitting back, even though they know the mistake themselves. They've said it in interviews in previous games where, like, they shouldn't have made the mistake. But at the same time, take the handbrake off and just get a second goal. I feel like we have this habit in taking leads and seeming to bottle it in a way. And we do this a lot. And the more the 1-0 goes on, I think if we had got 2 goals in that first half, I think it's a different game. I think we're much more comfortable. We're much more smart. I don't think it goes to 2-2. And even if it does go to 2-2, maybe we bring on Kudus, so maybe we win it. But we didn't get a second goal, and we should have, because we outplayed them in the first half. But the second half was, even so, before the first goal, we were just completely different. There were so many holes in everything. It was like, I don't know what was going on. We weren't closing them down quick enough. The defending again, Naya Faged, I'm sorry, this guy has to be dropped. Drop him. You have to drop him. After properly watching the goals back, I'll say the second goal, Zuma has to help, and people can say, oh, there's a push from Isak. Those never get given. So stop complaining about referees. Again, that's the defender. He's actually just ball watching. He's watching the ball. He has no awareness of who's behind him, even though it's the fucking striker. He needs to be more aware. And he should have been more aware on that goal. And he struggled with... He struggles with these kind of strikers that have any bit of pace. Any bit of strength. He was not good in that game overall. He didn't affect the game at all. Apart from one mazy run he did in the first half. He did not affect the game. As a centre-back, he did not do his job. And he did not do his job well enough. Kurt Zuma, I didn't think he had his best game either. I think he was doing well with the clearances. No nonsense clearance, but sometimes I think just bring the ball down and let's play. Because that was a theme throughout the whole squad. Throughout the whole starting lineup. No one was bringing the ball down until Mohamed Kudus came on. And we can't be conceding these kind of goals. We've only had one clean sheet, and that's against probably the worst side in the league, Sheffield United. One clean sheet throughout the whole campaign so far, that's bad. I think there's a lot of positives going into the second international break. Unfortunately, we have too many international breaks, especially with these friendlies. We're literally going. England are going to play Australia. What's the point? But yeah, there's a lot of positives going into this international break, and the football is much better than last year. But I still think we're very wasteful with the ball at times because players like, again, has been given an instruction since last year to hit long passes more into Antonio. Even though and I think Vladimir Sufa is very uncomfortable in possession. As soon as you close him down and he has to go on his left foot, the guy just goes backwards. He's so uncomfortable with anything going inside. But at the same time, he helped so much with that second goal. He was so smart, not just crossing it, because Kudus even said it when he broke down the goal. Everyone was going deep, so he gets to drop in that space and he gets to shoot. When Mohamed Kudus went on, it changed the whole game. The whole game. And it's because, as I said, everyone was flicking it on, the ball was in the air, it was head tennis. Mohamed Kudus brought the ball down and said, let me dribble, let me entertain, let me drive with the ball. We were losing 2-1 at this point, and it's like, I thought it was over, I thought we were going to lose, I thought, fuck this, how we bottled it. And then Kudus brought West Ham back to life. Like, we got the ball and he just lovely goal into the bottom corner. Nick Pope couldn't get to that, as long as he is. And he scored, and that changed the whole game. It was his magic. And we were missing a bit of that. With Lucas Paquetá on 4 yellow cards now. I know there's going to be a lot of better jokes. With him on 4 yellow cards, I think that's when you'll probably see Kudus come in. I have a feeling that going into the Aston Villa game, barring any injuries, let's say, throughout the international break, funny enough, Alvarez and Kudus will face each other. Mexico facing Ghana in a friendly. Barring any injuries, we'll probably play the same team against Villa, even though probably Mavropanos should come in, or Ogbonna. One of them should come in for again, even though Ogbonna made that mistake against Topola, or whatever the fuck they're called. I think Kudus will get a game when Paquetá eventually gets his 5th yellow card. So he would be suspended probably for the Everton game, I assume, and I think Kudus would be perfect for that Everton at home. game because, in my opinion, I think Everton will bring you a physical game, but as soon as something goes on the ground, they won't be able to catch anyone in our team in terms of the way we'll be able to move the ball around. And we need to move the ball around exactly how we did against Sheffield United. I know it's Sheffield United, but that goal against Sheffield United, for Bowen's goal, what a move that was. So we need to be moving the ball like that a lot more. And Edson Alvarez can play that football. Mohamed Kudus can play that football. Paquetá can play that football. Even Ward-Prowse, like, you see him passing in between the lines a bit more. And he's always had that in his game because he's a more progressive midfielder. He's an 8. He's not a holding midfielder, even though he will give you the defensive side. He's just a general midfielder. Like, he's got way more to his game than a set piece, and he's getting closer with the free kicks. Well, hopefully we'll get to see a free kick soon. It'll be the most West Ham thing if he never ever scored a free kick. But overall, I'm just happy with what Ward-Prowse has to give us, especially with them set pieces. I know David Moyes was disappointed with the set pieces in the game, but their team are fucking huge. Like, you'll probably struggle with Villa with that as well, but Newcastle's team, everyone looked like a giant. Imagine if they had Joe Linton in that team. And this is why I feel like it's still a missed opportunity because of the amount of players they had out. They didn't have Joe Willock. Joe Willock was amazing last season. Joe Linton was amazing last season. I put Joe Willock, if I did a team of the season, I would have put Joe Willock in that. People are going to think I'm mad. Joe Willock was so consistent last season. Can you imagine if he played? When he comes back, Newcastle are going to be even better and they've started really well. I know they went on a 3-game losing streak and it was like, Eddie Howe's getting sucked. But no. Eddie Howe's doing a fantastic job with Newcastle and he's bringing out the best in players that were already there under Steve Bruce. Like Lascelles and Shaw was a centre-back pairing under Steve Bruce. And even then, Fabian Shaw was getting benched for people like Isaac Hayden and Paul Dummett. I know Paul Dummett played well like a week ago or whatever, but overall, that was like a lot of these players are still there from Steve Bruce. Joe Willock was there, Joe Linton was there, Murphy was there, Almiron was there, Wilson was there, all under Steve Bruce. And people got to remember there was a lot of players in that Bournemouth side that came up with Eddie Howe that Eddie Howe brought the best out of that were playing League One football, from what I remember. So he knows how to get the best out of players. He's a great man manager, and he's not bad tactically. He's very sound tactically as a manager, and he knows how to get the best out of players. As I've just said, then he can put you at another level. And yeah, that was the game. It was a missed opportunity, as I said, because they had a lot of injuries, and they're only going to get better. Not only with the money behind them, they won't get to spend as much because of FFP right now, but eventually when they get to and they get more revenue in, they will get to spend more. And yeah. Moving on from the game, we're going to talk about Jarrod Bowen's contract. No, I didn't know it was 7 years. I assumed it was 4 years. 7 years, fair enough. I think he's going to be like 33, 34 by the time that contract ends. I know he wants to retire at West Ham, but I just doubt how he's going to carry that on for all those years. But talking on the positive side, that's very good for us because it gets worrying when you see players that you rate highly on the last year of their contract. And we have a lot of players on the last year of contract. So it was good to get him signed up. It was good to get a couple of young players signed up as well. But I'm very happy with Jarrod Bowen signed a new contract. He's going to probably go down as a West Ham legend maybe one day. And I know that's what he wants to do. He's very settled. And I'm glad we don't have to play against him. He didn't have his best performance on the weekend, apart from when it was 2-2. He could have maybe won the game for us. Probably got unlucky with that. But yeah, I think in general it's just so great for the club to hold down a player that's so important to us. Usually we see a lot of great players leave, even this summer with Declan Rice, in the past with Dimitri Payet. I reckon if Lanzini didn't have those injuries, he would have gone to Liverpool or something. Because Liverpool were interested in him as the Coutinho replacement at the time. Like, these great players always leave West Ham. And Bowen is not like a Payet with the X factor that he has, but he's so important with him driving with the ball, him at his best, him scoring goals. and him in general play, running in behind and affecting teams that play high up. And he'll be important for us against Villa, well, because Villa play so high up and they love the offside trap. So we'll see how we try to exploit that. Yeah, he's just so important for us, and you just love to see it. You just love to see it. Like, you love to see a player settled here, and long may it continue. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me. Actually, no, they're not, because the description doesn't work on YouTube on my phone right now. So maybe the social medias aren't in the description anymore. But anyway, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm on the road to 200 subscribers, and I will have hopefully more videos out during the international break. I've got a couple of ideas of what I wanted to do, and if I can get the planning right, you'll see a couple videos. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.